here?
We're here. Okay.
We're here.
Welcome back to FanTalk, Mandatory Mandalorian. I'm
right.
David.
Simon.
Derek?
And Star Wars.
Yes.
Still grinning from ear to ear right here.
Yeah.
Every week I'm happy it stays good.
Yeah, it just keeps stepping it up a little bit. I mean, I will say this episode was an episode that would normally be kind of, I would say, in a bigger series, like almost your touchy-feely, feel-good episode, with a little bit of character building, and still fantastic.
Yeah. Could have went longer.
I really, some of these episodes just seem short. Yeah.
And another Western kind of theme, the unnamed hero coming to a village to save from the raiders.
Yeah.
They ask him to stay, almost take off a mask, and then,
So we talked about the Kung Fu series,
the
old school Westerns.
Yeah.
It goes from place to place, which we know is going to happen because however it is, they're tracking him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we don't know how that is, which is...
I guess that frog had a tracer in it that he ate.
Maybe. I don't know. So so they're tracking him. That's going to be the ongoing theme of the series, which...
He needs to do like that Total Recall, just reach in there in the nose with some pliers.
Pull that sucker out. Yeah.
So, we've got that, and, they're going to keep going, and I believe, too, that, their team up, that's, from what I think that I saw in the trailers, I believe that's going to be an ongoing...
Okay.
Yeah, I think we got introduced to another character that the Mandalorian knows today in this episode. Obviously, I was torn on whether or not she was a Mandalorian as well. I just wasn't sure. I don't think
she was like a special forces from the Republic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
She was just special forces.
She was an old school soldier, been fighting, doing her thing, and
tough on.
That's why she could shoot stormtroopers and they couldn't shoot her back.
Yeah.
She went marksmanship training.
Yeah, one thing I thought was funny though, and was they talked about like how tough those walkers are to take out. I'm like, some teddy bears.
But she fought on Endor. She said she mopped up on Endor. She's like, there's nothing here we can take them out with.
I'm like, get some Build-A-Bears.
There's a few plot holes, a few loose storytelling.
I think we can blame Jedi for that one. Though.
Well, you also can say this: they were in a clearing. They were in a big open area.
So why was the trap not set up farther in the woods?
I know, lead them into the woods instead of,
And the thing clearly had a clear path to the town. Why didn't it just lay back?
Why in the woods?
To the town?
Get two giant trunks in the woods and just slam it.
But, I think that the part of the storytelling they didn't tell was that these raiders were utilizing these people. They said their crops took centuries to grow. They're relying on them to grow the crops. They come in to steal them. If they would laid waste to the town, then they wouldn't have anything to steal.
Yeah.
Right.
But they kind of missed that. That fell on the cutting room floor, I think.
Yeah.
This is like a mafia shake-up.
They did bring up the thing that if they couldn't just leave because it took centuries. And you have to kind of read into that. Yeah. And exactly it. If these guys burnt the whole town to the ground and raised it, and they killed everybody, there's nobody to fields to till.
There's nobody to do the real work.
Nobody to do the work. Yeah. So it's like you take just enough
you fleece
to keep them working.
Yeah,
fleece them, you don't kill them. Exactly. And
it's just like a mob shakeup.
Yep.
You don't destroy all the businesses.
Exactly. And of course he comes in and he's just like brought her with him and I liked the whole tale too. It's like he obviously likes the woman in the town.
Yeah.
And
respects at least.
Yeah, respects. And I thought it really showed, again, like his humanity. This guy is a bounty hunter. Yeah, he's a bounty hunter, but he, he has honor and a code. And, like, when she starts talking
broke all those codes.
Yeah, and she starts talking to him about, well, not Mandalorian
codes.
The guild codes he may have broke. But not his core codes. And, and she's talking to him about, like, haven't you done enough? Haven't you seen enough war? Don't you deserve, like, some peace? And you can tell he's literally kind of milling it over. He's kind of thinking about it. He's kind of like, And in the end, he was like, no, I'm going to go, but I'll leave the kid here. And then all that stuff goes down. He's like, nope.
And I wonder what he was thinking, because I still feel like maybe he thought he killed enough people that they weren't still looking for the kid, but,
Money talks.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
we know the remnants of the Empire are huge.
Right.
So, and they got money.
Yeah. First order of business, go after the Baby Yodas.
The Baby Yoda is obviously a high priority.
Well, and we don't know what they're trying to get out of it.
It's future snow.
So are we talking about the, what was it, episode one, the midi-chlorians or whatever? Do we know if that's what they're trying to do? We don't know.
Yeah.
It doesn't really talk about what they're trying to extract from little green guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. But there's something going on there.
Yeah.
And you got to think, though, that the Empire dealt with the Emperor. They had Vader that they dealt with, obviously.
Maul was there on the sidelines.
Maul was there on the sidelines at some point. I mean, the Empire has dealt with several Sith throughout their tenure, right? And so,
especially in the expanded universe.
Exactly. So, I mean, obviously they know a little bit, some of them know a little bit about the Jedi and their power. And so I'm sure it has something to do with that, like trying to harness that in some way.
Well, and any warlord with a scientist at his side be like, let's research that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Worst case scenario, we fail and kill a dozen people. No one cares.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And I thought it was also interesting whenever he was talking to the other soldier, and they were talking about like the way, the Mandalorian way, and talking about the helmet. Like, when did you get it? And he told this lady about when I was about your kid's age. And it's just like, you've never taken your helmet off in public. Like, he can't take his helmet off in front of another person.
Let's jump into that in case people have. I'm on the same page with you, but I think we should just cover that for a second. In that episode, it talks about, she asked, "Have you ever taken your helmet off?" He said no.
Yeah.
And then they show in this episode, they don't actually show him, but they show his helmet sitting on the bench to the side of him while he's eating dinner.
Yeah, well, I mean, to me, it makes total sense that, like, in the whole beginning, when they're like, you never take your armor off, you never take your helmet off, you're like, well, how does he eat? How does he this? How does he that? I immediately assumed, he's not drinking everything through a straw he shoves up underneath there. The guy's got to eat.
Yeah, he's not like the man in the Iron Mask with a beard underneath.
Yeah, so it's like there's got to be a way for him to eat. So I assumed that it was always, he didn't take his mask off in front of anybody. But I think this whole episode really, they brought that up for the sole purpose to make sure that everybody, people like you, they're like, well, now everybody knows. That's the rule.
Well, then it makes sense. I mean, it makes total sense.
But it was interesting still, though, because if you think about it, it fits perfectly, because the Mandalorians only go out like one or two at a time. They try to seclude their numbers so nobody knows how many there are.
At this point,
their armor is very similar, so even though one might be a little bit different than the other, they're constantly changing it.
People tell all the way, you're Mandalorian, correct?
Yeah.
Right.
So even though that one might seem a little bigger or have his armor a little bit different, it would be easy for the stories to change. So everybody just assume it's the same couple of them. And with helmets on, you don't know who's who.
Right.
So it kind of really makes it, as far as their way, hide their numbers and not know how many there are. It all kind of fits perfectly.
Oh, absolutely. They could, strip all their armor off and put on clothes and no one would have any idea.
Yeah. And I also thought it was interesting that she said that the soldier's like, so what would happen if you took your helmet off and somebody found out? And he's like, I can never put it back on. She's like, so you're telling me you can take that armor off and just go live your life with that girl and nobody'd ever do nothing about it? And he's like, yeah. She's like, what the heck? But that again goes to his character. It's like, but that's, no.
It's the code of honor.
This is the life I chose. Mm-hmm. And it's almost like the Japanese, like you never give up your sword because because of Bushido, and that part of his soul was in the blade. It's the same thing as the armor, and it's almost a part of him, and it's like it's his code. It's the way he lives.
I can imagine on the Planet Mandor, like those awkward teenage years, like kid or teenager in the bedroom, like helmets off, like Mom, don't come in. You'll see me.
But no, there's a lot of good stuff in this episode. And then, of course, the little baby Yoda, which we still haven't given the species a name. I wish,
or him a name.
Yeah, I wish that Favreau would do one of the two. Either give the critter a name or give it species a name so we can quit just calling it Baby Yoda.
Yeah.
But
we're not a bunch of idiots. We know.
We know it's not Yoda.
5 years from now, it will still be Baby Yoda.
It'll still be Baby Yoda.
I think we got to come up with a name for it by that point.
Yeah. But this episode, it was a focal point, but not still a whole lot of character development there. It's obviously a child.
Well, good development. Well, not for him, the child, but there's some good development for Mando.
Yeah. Oh, I meant for the Yoda baby is still, I'm not quite sure. It's obviously more sentient than like a baby because it knows how to use its force powers. It wants to heal and help him. It obviously wants to help him.
So let's do quick math. Quick math, right? Yeah. So how old was Yoda when he died? Like 900 and some change,
something,
right? This baby Yoda is what, 50?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So quick math, what, 5-6 years old?
Yeah, and 5-6 years old, which would make some sense.
Have empathy and understand his surroundings, wants to play,
catch on food.
Yeah, so I mean, there's.
And I would think that there's some kind of accelerated adolescence for these Yodas because they don't go through a whole lot of height growth. Obviously.
Possibly, yes.
So I don't think there's going to be 200 and he's finally like an adult.
No, I think
maybe.
Yeah, maybe, but I think by within the next 50 years, I think the first 100 might be considered their adolescence.
Yeah. It's a long time to go to school.
But I mean, it's also one of those things that we can think about this. I mean, in the next couple episodes, we might be baffled. All of a sudden, the thing starts to talk and is actually already fairly sentient, and a lot less childlike than what we thought.
Well, they could skip a few years in the future.
Yeah, and we wouldn't even. I mean, there would be nothing to argue about there.
Well, when you talk about this skip, we know we got like a 1-2 week skip already because he talked about like, hey, there's a lot of action happened here. These people are going to start showing up. It's been, what do you say, a week?
Yeah, that episode took place over several weeks.
Yeah. So, we know that this was one episode. We feel like it was a day, but, in their world, this was, like weeks. You said, probably 2-3 weeks, something.
Yeah, train some villagers for basic fighting.
Yeah, like weeks, maybe months.
Farmers for basic fighting.
Yeah.
Digging out that kind of trap with buckets.
Yeah. It takes time. The time passage is something that you just have to kind of have to figure out in your head, because they aren't putting up the little.
I wouldn't say it's outside the realm of possibility to say like, okay, a few years have passed, like to the next. They could do a bigger jump if they wanted to. It wouldn't affect the storytelling.
Well, that could still happen. That's kind of what I was getting.
Yeah, it definitely could still happen. And like we said, we're starting to see some more characters. So we have the Mandalorian, which has not gotten a name yet. He's still just the Mandalorian.
I don't think that was going to change.
Yeah, it might not. Then we got little baby Yoda, still doesn't have a name, just a random person. And then what was the girl actually had a name? I can't remember.
Yes, she did.
The character.
Yeah, but so we got those 3 characters, and she's like leaving them right now. But it looks like from like previews and other things we've seen that she's going to be a regular recurring character of some sort.
He should be able to take off the helmet. Gets a long flowing mullet, and like, hey, I'm Ricky.
The most disappointing part is when he reveals himself.
I'm hoping that doesn't happen.
Hoping he doesn't.
I'm really hoping he doesn't either.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd rather see Baby Yoda talk first.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, him taking his helmet off, again, we'll just see what happens. I don't think that they're going to. I think there might be some more scenes like this week where you see the helmet like laying next to him, but I don't think they're going to show the actor. I think that there's a lot of, fun in the aspect of wondering if you're going to, and then you don't get that reveal.
Being a series, you can always a movie you've had to reveal at some point.
Yeah.
A series, you can always just tease it, never actually have to do it.
Yeah. Yes. Well, look at Simpsons. They still never revealed where the heck that
where the Springfield is. Yeah, that's kind of a joke in of itself.
Yeah.
Well, Home Improvement, they never revealed Wilson's face.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so it's like, exactly. So it's not hard to do.
And they're already filming now the second season, so no point giving away everything on the first season.
Right, right. And so, I mean, it's going fast. I mean, we're already 4 episodes deep, and next Friday we're going to have another episode.
And I'm glad they haven't dragged in Skywalker universe as we know it.
Oh, yes,
They've kept it
absolutely.
completely separate, which I love.
But I was going to say, I think we're starting to hit our stride. Because, we got all the build-up, and I think we're going to start seeing, the storyline will continue, but we're going to get kind of like a normal pace of what we're going to expect.
Yeah, we're going to see some more episodes like this throughout the season, where it's little, like, sweet, happy stories, like where you kind of do some more character development, introducing some of their characters. Obviously, that's going to be happening. I mean, in the previews and the scenes I've seen, it looks like they end up with an IG unit at some sort of ally at some point, maybe. Yeah. But we're going to start getting in some meat and potatoes as this season continues.
Each episode has built on the previous one, so it is a serial. It's not like completely episodic, but I hope that they don't do, each week is a new planet and a new village or whatever, or a new completely
like the old sitcoms of the past.
Yeah,
I don't think they will. I think he's enjoying doing a little bit of that because it does fit into the Star Wars and world boosting kind of universe that they're building. I think it's worked really well. But I mean, with the bounty hunter at the end of this one, and them having to kill him and going back to everybody had a fob, and now he's realizing that it wasn't just on that planet them. Like pretty much everybody's looking for this kid. And he's realizing how serious a decision he's made. And now at some point he's going to get, I can tell you this character is going to get proactive.
Yeah, he's going to take the fight.
Right now he's being defensive because he's trying to figure out how he's going to keep the kids safe. Yep. But at some point
he's going to have to go pretty high.
He's going to get proactive. And once he gets proactive, we'll get some fun. And we may
even see like several clans of the Mandalorian maybe come together and rise up.
Yeah.
He might have to go up pretty high in the underworld food chain to try and stop this. Yeah, he might even have to go all the way to Maul.
And we might even see a Darth Maul in this, which would be cool because that's still not the Skywalker universe necessarily.
It's on the edges.
It's in the outlying skirts of it. So, I mean, I would not be disappointed to see a Maul in this series. He's a really great villain who we haven't really got to take a lot of advantage of. So there's really, the sky's the limit. I can say this, Jon Favreau continues to impress, and he's impressed Disney. We talked about this last week. They're already in the works of talking about giving him his own trilogy. So, so it's like Favreau could be the savior of Star Wars, in period. I mean, like, with this doing the way it is, and then if they give him a series and it does anything close to how well this is going, we could actually start seeing some real amazing Star Wars films like we were all hoping for.
I do know back in the early 90s, I saw the movie PCU. He played Gutter in it, and I thought, he's going to save Marvel and Star Wars one day.
When I saw him on Swingers, I was like, that guy's going places.
And Vince Vaughn is the one that originally got the big boost off that.
It's like,
which is great for him just to play that kind of background guy, and now he's
the man.
He's running it.
He's running the show, writing his own paycheck, right? All right, folks. Well, thanks for tuning in to Mandatory Mandalorian. Don't forget to like, subscribe, ring that bell, support us so we can keep doing this for you. Put your comments down below. We like reading them. I like to see little things that we miss. We watch a ton of stuff. We do all of FanTalk, all these different shows. And so there's a lot of content. We're going to start throwing video games, more pop culture in here. We're going to be doing FanTalk 10. A lot of stuff we're in the works of doing. So literally there's so much for just the four of us to get through. We love seeing comments and things that maybe we'll be able to talk about in other episodes. So please don't forget to comment. And follow us on Twitter. Follow us on Facebook. Instagram's coming soon.
At FanTalk 2.
At FanTalk 2 for Twitter, yeah. Twitter. Follow us on Twitter, dang it.
All right.
Anyways, thanks again for watching FanTalk. Till next time.